Hey up lads, Kosh here from Kosh Bushcraft. It's a quick video to show you the latest knife I've been working on. Damascus steel. Little friction folder. Street legal. Well, UK legal. Pearl Kirinite handles. Brass liners. Custom file work down back end. Quite a pretty little thing, really. Yeah, it's been a nightmare. Just been with a quick word on buying Damascus steel. I bought this cheap on a bid on eBay. Got it about £11 cheaper than I'd have paid for a proper piece of Damascus. When the Damascus came, it was out in so many ways. One side of the billet was 2mm thick, and the other side was nearly 6mm thick. And then across the that was lengthways, across the width of the billet, what I had were the same thing again, but in opposite directions. So the steel was out in every way, which just turned the job into an absolute nightmare. To get the knife blade out of it just turned into a fucking nightmare. Proper wasn't worth it, you know what I mean? So that's a quick word on buying Damascus. If you're gonna buy it, make sure it's precision ground. I mean, if you're buying it to forge with, which is stupid anyway, because if you're buying Damascus steel to forge with and you've got a forge, you should have forged your own fucking Damascus steel. So if you're buying a piece of Damascus steel, usually it's to do stock removal, make yourself a knife out of. And what I'm saying is, if you get one, it's the same as my micarta video when I go on about fucking distances and widths and your bits of micarta and stuff, and that they have to be level, because you sandwich a knife up and you drill it through, and cause the surfaces out straight, you put them on drill press and everything goes in at angles, everything goes crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing with your Damascus steel, especially. Like, I mean, if I'd have just been making a dagger or something, it'd have been probably simpler to work around the dimensions of the steel. But what I'm saying is, if you're doing a folder, everything's got to sit nicely into it. It's got to turn fully round and sit in there. So if the steel's not flat and out in anywhere, to make a folder is an absolute nightmare, basically. So if you're going to buy some Damascus steel, make sure contact the company first. Go for a decent one. If you're on eBay, that Titan steel and stuff, theirs is like precision ground. A big indicator is if you see it on eBay and it says on the end 1 to 3mm. Please allow 1 to 3mm error. Then you get your piece of steel, and what you don't realise is your 1 to 3mm is all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So, and like I say, I paid about 19 quid for the piece of Damascus, enough to do 2 knives out of, 2 of these anyway. But for 30 quid, I could have ended up with a piece of Damascus that were actually usable without being an absolute nightmare. And when I say it's been a nightmare, it's been a nightmare. When it arrived, it wasn't annealed properly, so we're drilling it and it were going halfway through a couple of layers of it, and then it was stopping and burning drill bits out and stuff. So I had to, and the big slab, my little forge, isn't even big enough to get it in, so I've had to get a big bonfire going, heat the fucker up glowing, and then leave it on bonfire all night to cool down to anneal it, just to be able to work the steel. And then with all the dimensions out and stuff, it's just not worth it, mate. Basically, if you're buying it, make sure you look for a good piece of Damascus. Even message them first, ask them if the dimensions are out, if it's a perfectly flat piece of steel and stuff, because you're paying the money and causing yourself an absolute nightmare. This is like the hardest knife I've ever made because of all the steel flattening and the flaws in the steel as well, the hammer marks and stuff that go deep. You know what I mean? Proper deep, like halfway into the fucking metal. You move a piece of layer and then there's a gap in metal going right down. Do you know what I mean? And it's stuff like that. It's just not worth the hassle, basically. Get yourself a good, nice piece of Damascus. I mean, you can see one there. If you look up, See that mark in the Damascus there? That's actually from factory or whatever when they've made it, and it's just, I'd have had to sand the whole knife away to get rid of it. Quite annoying, really. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to buy Damascus, buy good Damascus, Titan Damascus, I recommend. I even recommend messaging him and asking him if the piece of steel's perfectly flat before you get it, or within tolerances that are worth your while playing with, basically. Do you know what I mean? But fully enjoyed working with this Kirinite. Didn't, another one top hint, I think, is if you're using Kirinite, best not to pin it and peen it and stuff. Put screw-in fixings so that I'm not hitting it, especially a thin piece like this. I mean, it's only just over 3mm thick is this Kirinite, so you don't want to be peening it and shattering it, and because it's quite expensive, is Kirinite, like, do you know what I mean? So I bought while we're on Kirinite, I bought a full sheet of Kirinite. You can get handle slabs. I got a full sheet of it for, you know, about 22 quid, whereas a handle two handle pieces were costing you 17 quid. So I bought a sheet. It'll do 3 knives out of it. So if you're gonna buy it, Kirinite, buy it by the sheet. Do you know what I mean? Get it cheap, buy it by the sheet. But I'm proud of this knife. Love it. Lovely thing. Damascus is beautiful. Once you get over the stress of buying a piece of shit Damascus, it is anyway. I mean, look at it. It's pretty. Homemade knives don't get no better than this, really. You know what I mean? I love to play with Damascus. It's like the best thing you can make at home, really. Best steel you can get. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, that's about it, really. A few videos coming up, making a few more. This is the last design of this design I'm going to do, this sort of shape. Going to do some new shapes now. I've done quite a few with this design. Well, similar. They've all changed a bit because I don't really stick to plans as I make them, like. But for a street legal, it's a bit of a beast. Definitely a bit of a beast for a street legal. Useful little knife. But yeah, that's the new knife. And for now, it's Camper Kosh signing out.